Hey everyone, and welcome to the video today, and it's now almost time to dive into the world of Aionios in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which launches this Friday on July 29th. Personally, I'm so excited for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and to be honest, it's looking like it may be my personal game of the year. Going into the new news though, we also know that the reviews for Monolith Soft's massive JRPG dropped this week from lots of different sources from different game critics, and it sounds like we fans are in for a right treat, as it's mostly gained 10 out of 10s, 9s, and with sort of low on average being high 8s, but on average 9s and 10s, so it looks really good. And starting off, if you look at the game on Metacritic, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is currently sitting on a comfortable 89, with only critic reviews in at the moment. And with many of you dodging spoilers following the game leaking online next weekend, don't worry by the way, this is a spoiler free zone as I really want to go into the game blind. We can really get a sort of more in-depth look into the game and see what the reviews are like. But personally, if there's one thing we need to know, it's just how good the game is, so people can choose whether or not they want to buy it or not. So I've rounded up different reviews from different sources to see what the critics think, and game journalists think in general, and impressions are overwhelmingly positive. I'll just quickly read from some reviews, starting off with Nintendo Life, who said the following: Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a genuine masterpiece, and the highlight of Monolith Soft's superb series thus far. But it's not just them saying that, with RPG Site, which is another game journalist site, also scored the game a perfect 10 out of 10, stating that very few JRPGs these days have astounded me with a core cast as well written as this one. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 often opts for a show don't tell mentality in important moments of characterization throughout their 143 hour playthrough. By the way, that's amazing. I never thought that the game dragged its feet or was tiring itself out, which is really good because for me, longevity is definitely a must. Eurogamer felt similarly about the game's accessibility, recommending this lengthy JRPG by stating the following: perhaps more than any game before it in the series, this gets the balance between systems and story down perfectly. Even better, it manages to intertwine the two in an adventure that infuses each of your footsteps with a sense of purpose. And lastly, The Gamer awarded Xenoblade Chronicles 3 a rather lovely 5 stars, believing the game to be something special, and they said the following: Monolith Soft has created a JRPG that is so colossal yet so intrinsically focused. It delivers an experience that iterates upon everything its predecessors managed to achieve, resulting in a masterpiece that I am utterly enraptured by. Now, going on to the less creditable sites in my opinion, GameSpot also gave the game an 8 out of 10, where they said the following: Xenoblade Chronicles 3 may stumble from time to time, particularly in its dialogue, but its ambitious premise pays off with a heartfelt conclusion. IGN also gave it the same score, but I choose not to trust IGN and GameSpot due to the fact that they are very spotty with their reviews, and they've also had things like plagiarism amongst other things, but I do tend to think that IGN and GameSpot do tend to give games that I dub as masterpieces or near perfect games like 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10s when they sometimes don't deserve it. For example, they gave Xenoblade Chronicles 2 an 8 out of 10. Don't get me wrong, you know, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 had its problems, but in my opinion it was a high 9.5. Destructoid, on the other hand, were glowing about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, awarding the game a 9.5, praising the game's accessibility and just how quickly the game hooked them in, stating the following: Xenoblade Chronicles 3 didn't need to do a whole lot to keep me invested, as I was all in very early on. The cast, the weight of the story, and the freedom of the party composition are the power trio that won me over. So, looking at all these reviews as well as Metacritic, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 looks like it's going to be really good, which makes me really happy because a lot of games that I've been anticipating for this year haven't really been as good as I wanted them to be, so it's really nice to hear that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 sounds like it's going to be amazing, and I cannot wait to play it. But don't forget as well, the expansion pass is also dropping this Friday, 29th of July, with the first update dropping on launch day. But it sounds like we're going to have a long journey ahead of us in Aionios in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Anyway everyone, that's it for the video today. If you want more Xenoblade Chronicles free content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!